The Target Series heads to Rockingham for its penultimate race of the season number 8 Target Series season, as we're here at the Rockingham Speedway for the running of the Dairy Queen 300. On the pole is Greg Lee in the 62s. Outside second is Diego Lopez in the 0 car. Then third is Levi Jones. Fourth is Justin Zidell, running out the top 5 with number 21 of Danny Lloyd. Then sixth is Derek Hamill. Seventh place is a driver tied for second in points, Jake Galloway. Then to his outside in eighth, it's Jonathan Rains. Nathan Orman in ninth, and Kashawn Richardson rounds up the top 10 of the 20 car. The rest of the field, there's Jose Mills to his inside, Simon Bloomfield at 35. And we have Albert Galloway with Luke Rainey in the 12. Behind them, George Cooper and Riley Spurley-Tube, with Paul Taylor and Steve Larker. And we have Trey Rainey with Mike Burrow. Behind them, Jason Larker and Alexander Rowe. Then there's Max Anderson with Dylan Abrahamian, with Anthony Hernandez and Greg Torres. And Samet Oskin, another driver tied for second in points, to the 5 of Mathis Wells. Then we have points here, Colton on the 9, Cody Ridge the 42 to his inside, with Sebastian Kugel on the 4 and Ryan Brown on the 78, with Eli Bright and Patrick Smith. Then William Bullen and William Seaman, along with Anthony Charbois and Trip McGinnis, with Jennifer Buford and Franz Device. And in the final row, Jeff Wright, the 1 who's outside 42nd, is number 22 of Adam McDowell. There is our 42-car field for the Dairy Queen 300, chase race number 910, the Target Series season number 8. Let's get going with our starting command.
Drivers, start them engines!
And the command has been given as 42 Target Series engines come to life here in Rockingham in North Carolina for 45 laps of action in the Dairy Queen 300, our second to last race of the season. Coming into this race, not many drivers within a shot at the points lead. Colton Yo holds it by 4 points over Mathis Wells and Jake Galloway, who are tied. And then we go back 9 points to Sebastian Kukla and other drivers more than their race back. So can anyone try and close in within a race to have a shot at Homestead? Greg Lee and Diego Lopez to the green flag will be racing for 45 laps in the Dairy Queen 300 at the Rockingham Speedway. Greg Lee gets a winner. Pole Sarah lead lap 1 from the pole. Yepes clicking to the inside for a second. He wants it back over Shones in the 0-0. So a bunch of zeros racing for a second as they come out turn number 2. Yepes inside, Shones outside, down the back. Albert Galloway 15 to the wall. Down but no contact made. Shones off the top side gets back clear for a second. Yepes down the bottom lane. Here comes Lloyd the 21. He is close to being within a race of the points until he really wants to get up here and challenge and try and be the highest finishing chaser. He's currently inside the top 5 and 4th, and currently right now getting max points out of the day. We just find another chaser, Simon Bloomfield back in 6th, rallying to the front, and Jake Galloway 19 came in 4 points behind Colton Yo, currently running inside the top 10 as Yo is on the outside lane trying to get down the inside, make some ground up. Jake Galloway up inside the top 10 to 8th he'll go for the 19. At the front of the field, all Greg Lee currently. Shones in the 0-0 runs 2nd. Yepes rides in 3rd. Battle for 4th to the inside Derek Hamill. The 21 of Danny Lloyd clears that. Now for 2nd again. Yepes back to the inside Shones. They battle again for a 2nd, but Shones off the top side gets back clear for that position to turn number 3. Greg Lee so far doing a nice job out in front of the Dairy Queen 300. But some zeros come to try and run him down, the 0-0 and the 0 car. Both running 2nd and 3rd. Right in the back of the 60 in turn 1. And Lee went a little wide right there off turn 2. Shones closing in down the back. Shones a nice 1-2 there. Lee a little wide. Allows the 0-0 to close in a little bit to turn number 3. Now look to the bottom lane as they climb the banking. 5 cars in this line as they come out turn 4. Shones is there on Lee looking to make a move. Hamill on Lloyd for 4th. Shones, he's looking low again through 1 and 2. He has a nice run going right here. Off the corner, Levi Shones right there in the back of the 60 down the back stretch. And meanwhile, back there for 4th, Hamill moves around Lloyd, puts the 21 on the outside, and he could fall back some spots. Before the race lead through 3 and 4, Shones is there on Lee. Greg got a little high. Shones to the bottom lane, and the 0-0 leads the lap. Levi Shones leads. He wants to do this tomorrow in the Gatorade Cup Series race for a shot at the championship. Shones clears the lead. Yepes trying to follow through to 2nd, but Lee fights back on the top side to get clear. The 60 goes off the track. 0 holds a nice bottom lane right there. Yepes looking to get back to Lee and make a pass. He's trying to get there, but Greg Lee, our pollster, fights tough on the outside to keep it clear. And while the battle for Lee is simmered down, Colton Yo making some progress up to 22nd on the inside lane. So the 9 moving forward. Where is his teammate? Also tied for second in points, Mathis Wells, 14th. So these drivers, they're doing a decent job getting down low, getting further forward. Jake Gowie's falling back some spots in 9th. He has Chaser, Simon Bluefield, Chaser, Danny Lloyd in front of him. So right now, the only chasers in front of the 21 are 2 of them. In front of the 19, excuse me. Greg Lee back on Levi Shones off turn 2. He's there to the inside down the backstretch. They battle side by side. Lloyd gets the wall and he'll drop back as Bluefield jumps to the inside of the 35 car. But up at the front, Greg Lee from the pole and back to lead over Levi Shones, who falls back to second. And now Hamill's up to third, 98 on a flyer right here. And Hamill looks like his car's pretty good right now. It's rotating well. He's moving up through the field. Mills moves to fourth. Pez back to fifth. He's going to fall outside the top 5, I have to think. Bloomfield to the inside because Sean Merchant's there. I have to think that the zero car is going to go back outside the top 5. Right there because Justin Zidell really had to lift there, lost some time, but look at him gain it back in 3 and 4. The 18 looking pretty strong in the middle of 3 and 4. And look at Lloyd, still top 3 wide, falling back. Rowan, Richardson to the inside. 21 back to 10th. Make it 11th as the 20 gets by him. And here comes Mathis Wells. He wants that point badly on Danny Lloyd. That's another point if he can get by that 21 car. He owes just a few spots behind him, so Wells wants every point he can get right now. Every chaser is a point. Every point matters with how close these drivers are to each other. Back up here for the lead. Jones is back on Greg Lee to turn number 1. A bad entrance for the 00 makes him lift. The 60 drives down the top side to get back clear. So Greg Lee continues to lead Jones back to second. Derek Hamill's all over the back of the 00's teammate. So that's 2 Stuart Haas Racing cars right now, second and third here at Rockingham. Hamill looks like he's a little bit faster than the 2 in front of him currently. Simon Bloomfield moves way to 4th. Justin Zidell up to 5th. Back to 6th. Jose Mills. Pez in line in 7th. Jake Gowie currently in the 8th position. Gowie wants some more as well. I mean, he's tied with Wells, so he's passing Wells right now in the points. However, Colton Yo in the 9 as the 5 gets put to the high side. And so is the 9. Oh, back there. Walker into the wall. The 51 car. Saving it for now. Oh, I can't believe he saved that car. That was a great save by Steve Walker. He will have some damage to know he's trying to get out here. Look at Francis. The Device over the back of him. I mean, these drivers are racing crazy back here in the 30s. But for Colton Yo's on the outside lane, the 9 now. Dropping back. He's back to 27th, where he was just up inside the top 25. He was up about 22nd. And Mathis Wells, the 5, is falling back to 20th. Remember, he was up inside the top 15 just a little bit ago. Well, those drivers starting to fade back through the field. But no change at the front. 3 Fords lead. Greg Lee, Levi Shones, and Derek Hamill. Our first Chevy in 4th, that's Simon Bloomfield. And our first Toyota is in 5th, that's Justin Zidell. Oh, Hamill got a little wide there. Bloomfield had a peek to the inside for the 98, getting a nice run off the corner. I think that 35, though, is a nice run coming to that 98 right here through 3 and 4. He's there to the inside. Chaser Simon Bloomfield wants more points. 35 car to 3rd at the start-finish line. They're trying to close in on Shones and Greg Lee, who are 1st and 2nd currently at the Rock. Jake Galloway gonna get to 7th past the 0 of Pez, because Sean Richardson will move his way to 8th. And Danny Lloyd on the outside now, the 21 falling back. 12 right here of Luke Rainian. Then you see the 5 back here, Mathis Wells on the outside, trying to get in line. There's Colton Yo trying to make up some ground on Jennifer Beeford. He has chaser Paul Taylor just from the 99 car. And another chaser up here. You have the 5 of Mathis Wells, the 3 of William Seaman, the 12 of Luke Rainey, 21 Danny Lloyd. All the way up here, and then there's Jake Gowie, the 19, running in a nice position. As the 98 got wide, 18 moves way to 4th, but up here, a change for 2nd. Simon Bloomfield flying through the field. Car number 35, chasing down the 60 now for the lead. I think that 35 looking pretty fast. Hopefully those not wearing the tires out too much. To just see, beware of that. Lee up the racetrack, almost into the wall. Simon Bloomfield ran a lower line, got a nice run down the backstretch to turn number 3. He has closed in on Greg Lee. Again, the 60 climbs the bank in the 35 to the inside lane through 3 and 4. Trying to get to the quarter panel, that 60 pulling backwards. Then the battle for 3rd. Justin Zidell to the inside, Levi Shones, but it's the battle for the lead. Simon Bloomfield and Greg Lee are side by side, turn 1. Bloomfield's the inside here, they come off turn 2. Side by side, down the backstretch. Greg Lee back clear. Zidell clear in 3rd position. Chasing now Simon Bloomfield. Hamill on his teammate for 4th. Climbs the banking with him. But Shones clear in 4th. Back here again for the lead. Bloomfield back on Greg Lee. Trying to look for a spot to get by. And Zidell's there as well. The 18 is closed in nicely. That's a 3-horse race for the lead. Down the backstretch of the race. Bloomfield trying to get there. trying to make a pass on Greg Lee, but the 60 now, noticing that at 35 was closing in, has turned to more conservative entrances into the corner, not driving up the racetrack too much. 25 laps of racing remain in the Dairy Queen 300. Greg Lee currently leads from the pole, but as chaser Simon Bloomfield hot in his tail, with Justin Zeidel on the 18 also coming forward. Right now, Joe Gibbs Racing has performed greatly here today. So far, Zeidel runs in 3rd, Jake Galloway 7th, Kashawn Richardson 8th. So those drivers doing nicely here today at the Rock. Can they hold it up inside this top 10 spot for the next half race? Bloomfield that time ran a little wider. He gained some time there. See if he can get to Greg Lee this time in turn number 3. Oh, that was a bad entrance to Greg Lee. Went a little low. Look at Justin Zeidel in the bottom lane, digging hard for 2nd. Justin Zeidel, the 18, moves way up to P number 2 at the Rock. So now Zeidel's going to be challenging Greg Lee. Bloomfield back to 3rd. Levi Jones runs in 4th. Mills up to 5th. Hamill back to 6th. Galloway with his teammate Kashawn Richardson 7th and 8th. How about Colucci to 9th and George Cooper in 10th. Matthew Swell still back here fighting. He's up to 17th. Colton Young, the 9, has made some progress up inside the top 25 to 25th. But the front of the field is where the battling is happening. Zeidel trying to pressure Greg Lee. Jones at the racetrack from 4th. Here comes Mills to the inside of the 11 car. Down the backstretch, they race for 4th. The 00 keeps it tough on the outside lane, but Mills fighting back on the bottom in turn number 3. Now Jose Mills down that spot right here off turn 4. Look at Zeidel with a nice run up ahead in the 60 car. As Mills gets by Jones, now Jones' teammate, Derek Kimmel, looks to pounce for 5th. Levi's been kicked backwards here in the outside lane. Looking to get clear right here. He might be able to. 98 gonna try and move up right there. 00 though is clear. Here comes Jake Galloway, the 19 to this battle. They get a 3-car race for a top 5 spot. Hamill back to the inside, Jones off corner number 4. And Derek Hamill will grab the top 5 away from Levi Jones as the 00 kick back to 6. And now in about Jake Galloway. So now Jake looking to move his way forward in this race with 20 laps of racing to go with the Rock. Galloway's moved his way up inside the top 6. He's looking for 6th on Levi Jones to turn number 3. Oh, here we go. I think we're going to have some pit stops here. As for the lead, Zeidel and Greg Lee. Hamill and Jones, the 2 SHR cars, first to pit road. I like that strategy. Look at this, though. Luke raining down McDowell into the wall. 22 hard hit. Is the yellow flag out? Yes, it is. Caution flag is in the air. Zeidel leads, and now the SHR teammates and these drivers that came down pit road are going to fall 1 lap short. Zeidel to lead them back to the caution flag. Lee in 2nd, Bloomfield in 3rd. And now everyone who just came down pit road is a lap down. That is called poor timing right there. I was saying I was liking that strategy that they pulled. Get the fresher tires sooner, leapfrog some of these drivers. But then the Penske teammates made contact. They got together, spin the 22 into the inside, and it was on from there. So our first yellow flag comes on the middle of green flag pit stops, and we'll trap some drivers on the tail end of the lead lap. And here comes the rest of the field down pit road. Justin Zeidel lead them with Greg Lee, Simon Bloomfield, and these others back here. That timed it right well. Stayed on the racetrack, same with Jake Galloway. And I believe Colton Yo and the 9 also stay out, so they're going to be fine. So the top 3 in the championship, no real change there. Except that the drivers behind Jake Galloway, I guess everyone gained some positions there because the 00 and the 98 running ahead of all of them. So here they come to their pit stalls. It should be a 4-tire change. These tires wear so much here at Rockingham. They're running about 1.5 seconds, almost 2 seconds off the pace. If they change anything but 2 tires, or anything but 4 tires, that would be a huge mistake. And you can see the drivers that went down the pit lane now on the tail end of the lead lap. So they'll be restarting in front of these race leaders. Zeidel gonna leave. Bloomfield trying to get there. Off pit road. It's gonna be Greg Lee or Zeidel. That's close there. I have to see who they give it to. But now, these drivers here are gonna be in the tail end of the lead lap. How will that play into it? Our first yellow of the day comes down at McDowell's day. Done early at the Rock. Racing down the backstretch, I have to think that some of these drivers were thinking about coming down pit road. Or there's just something happened. Because right here, racing off into turn number 3, there's Seaman in the 3. Yepez is yielding to come down pit road with the 0 car. Seaman gets up towards the wall. He may have gotten into it. Luke Rennie chased him up there in the 12. And McDowell, the 22, is on the inside. And right here, as they come off the corner, running up into the side of the 3, they hook together, down to McDowell. They spin sideways, and right here, McDowell takes a hard, nasty lick right into the pit barrels. And that was a hard hit for last season's champion, Adam McDowell, the 22, out of the Dairy Queen 300 early on at the Rock. And that was just unfortunate timing for everyone that came down pit road right there. I think that was going to be a nice strategy, especially for the drivers that running inside the top 10, Jones and Hamill. They're going to have a nice strategy going on there, but now, I mean, it's put them now out of this running, basically. Unless we get a quick yellow, then they'll be back on the lead lap. That's a hard hit for McDowell, though, the 22 car. Nose first in those barrels. You can see how far back it put him. Right here, he hits the barrels, and he goes all the way back. Like, look at this. Look how far back he gets pushed. Luke Rain did a great job saving his car as it went through the grass. He got back controlled. Watch this for McDowell. About 135 miles an hour into that wall. A hard hit for the last two Target Series champions of Adam McDowell. But it's Justin Didell, the 18th down the racetrack, taking the lead from Greg Lee the prior lap. And now leading at the caution flag coming down pit road. But it's Greg Lee in the 60 team that does their work with the #1 pit stall. He's starting to pull. He got the benefits of winning the pole. He'll be out front in the Dairy Queen 300 at Rockingham. Coming back green right here in lap number 32 will be 14 laps of racing to go at the Rock. Leading is Greg Lee. Only car out is Adam McDowell in the 22, but it's Trey Rain, Jeff Bright, Nathan Orman, Riley Spurley Tube, Jonathan Rains, David Pez, Levi Jones, and Derek Campbell on the tail end of the lead lap. 33 cars are technically on the lead lap. Greg Lee leads in the 60. He has lap traffic ahead though. Just behind him in second is Justin Zidell, Simon Bloomfield in third, Jose Mills fourth. Now about Jake Galloway up inside the top 5, George Cooper, Kashawn Richardson, Greg Torres, William Seaman, and Cole Louis to the front 10. Here we go. Trey Rain 52 up high. He'll get into the wall. Greg Lee, the 62 is inside. Lee disposed of the 52 fast. Now can Zidell get around Trey to try and keep touch with the 60 car? I think he's going to dive to the inside right here. These drivers have fresh tires now, so if you're going to make moves, you're going to have to make the next. See Jake Galloway out of line. He'll move to fourth, and a chaser in front of him. Simon Bloomfield trying to hold off. But here comes Jake Galloway in the 19 car, closing in. Galloway wants that point. That's an extra point. Mathis Wells the 5. Currently running in the 18th position. Colton Yeo running 22nd. Galloway wants every point he can get. Showing it now off turn 4. His nose to the inside. He closes the gap. He'll get to third. And another point. Galloway gets 12 points right now with 12 to go. And lap traffic all over the place. Jeff Rails line. Zidell moves by him. Lee though still out in front. Mills trying to get there. Here comes the 1918's teammate, Kashawn Richardson, the 20 try breakers way inside the top 5. They make 3 of the top 5. Joe gets racing Toyotas. Jeff Bright moves high to give the bomb lane to the leaders. Greg Lee, the 60, has pulled a nice gap over Zidell. Remember, the 60 car really was good earlier in the run. The only time it was not good was on the longer haul. This is a shorter run. Zidell, though, trying to close in with Greg Lee being caught by Nipez in the 0 car. In turn number 3, here they come to the bottom of the 0. Lead to the bottom lane. They battle side by side. Yepes goes a lap down, 10 to go. 10 laps remain for Greg Lee in the 60 car. There's the lap crunch from he in second place, Justin Zidell. Well, look at the charge. Jake Galloway is down in third. Closing in on his teammate Zidell. He also wants to get ahead of the 18 because the 35 is right there. He wants to put a car between he and the next highest chaser, Bloomfield. And look at the run he has right here. Lee's looking 3 wide at the front of the field. Greg Lee, the 60, looking 3 wide. On the lap cars are Rains and Hamill. And for second, Jake Galloway is going to take it away. Zidell back to third. Jake Galloway charging now on Greg Lee. Can Zidell get back in line to keep third? Bloomfield to the inside. 2 chasers battling hard. Now Lee put to the high side by Yepes. Yepes puts the 60 up high. Jake Galloway closes in now. Jake Galloway to the inside, the 19 car flying to Greg Lee. He's to his inside off turn 2. Galloway, Lee run side by side, down the back to turn number 3. Jake Galloway out in front in the Dairy Queen 300. Kick back to second, Greg Lee in the 60. And now there's a car to his inside, Galloway. Now his lap traffic between he and second place. And Lee on the outside might fall back to third as Bloomfield moves to the inside. Coming to 6 to go this time by Greg Lee. Now fighting with Simon Bloomfield as Jake Galloway pulls away, looks for his 4th victory of the season. He'll dispose of Yepez in the 0 car. Come to 6 to go. Bloomfield gets by Greg Lee, but long gone is Jake Galloway in the 19. He was 4 points by Colton Yo coming into this race in the championship. Currently, Yo in the 9 runs back in 23rd, making 22nd. He's gotten by the 12 of Luke Rainey. That is another point. Mathis Wells, the 5. Danny Lloyd, the 21. Other chasers. Kugel on the 4. Simon Bloomfield, the 35. William Stephen, the 3. All chasers. Separating the 9 and the 19. And Jake Galloway knows that. He has to be knowing that. He has 2 lap cars. In between he in 2nd place, which is back here, Simon Bloomfield. Mills up to 3rd. 4th place is now going to be Greg Torres, as Greg Lee is back to 5th in the 60. Make it 6th, as here comes Kashawn Richardson. Jake Galloway can move around. Levi Jones with 4 to go, the 19 car. Needing a good result at Rockingham. He started inside the top 10. Going to make it a great result if he can come around and complete 3.5 more laps and win chase race number 9 and go to Homestead with some momentum on his side. Off the corner. 3 laps remain, and the Dairy Queen 300. Jake Galloway in total control right now. No one near him. Lee's been kicked back to 7th. Cole Luigi in the 42 has gotten around. Lee, though, in line. But it's not going to be the day he's wanted. He's dominating here today. He's now back to 7th without a shot at the victory. The only shot I can hope for is trying to get back up inside the top 5. Jake Galloway right there passing Riley Spurley-Tube. Sees 2 laps to go. 2 laps remain for Jake Galloway in the 19 car. A charge on the restart. His team got him out inside the top 5. And he showed he was here to play. As he drove his way up through the field. Getting to 3rd. Getting to 2nd. And finally getting by Greg Lee for the race lead. The white flag is waving. Last lap for Jake Galloway at Rockingham. It's not going to be a dominant performance for the 19 by any means. However, he has delivered the message that he is here to win the championship. To turn number 3 for the final time, Jake Galloway will go to Homestead fighting for the championship, but more importantly, momentum on his side. 4th victory of season number 8, Jake Galloway wins at Rockingham. Simon Bloomfield and Mills, others come across the start-finish line, but Jake Galloway with the last run for the ages. Jake Galloway comes from 5th to 1st on the final restart to win the Dairy Queen 300 at the Rockingham Speedway and propel him up into championship contention once again. Let's go see the finishing results at Rockingham. Here are the finishing results from the Dairy Queen 300 to Rockingham Speedway. 1 caution to fight for 4 laps during the race, and 5 lead changes for 4 different drivers here today. As leading at the end, Jake Galloway led the final 8 laps of the race, never looked back, and he is now in prime points position heading to Homestead with his 4th victory of the season. Simon Bloomfield ends up 2nd, 3rd Jose Mills, Greg Torres, and 4th and Kashawn Richardson at the top 5. Heartbreak for Greg Lee, 31 of 45 laps led here today for the 60 car. Started on the pole, but ends up 6th after falling back on that last run. 7th place Ryan Brommer, Cole Luigi in 8th, Paul Taylor in 9th, and Alexander runs at the top 10. We look at the top 20 Sebastian Kuklon has climbed down nowhere to get to 12th at the end. Seaman in 14th, Lloyd in 16th, Wells in 18th, Colton Yo in 20th. It has made this points battle very interesting. Heading into the final race of the season, other drivers down here in the chase, Luke Rainey in 26th, France Device 31st, and lap cars of Trey Rainey and Jeff Bright that got put on the wrong sequence due to a caution flag coming out in the middle of green flag pit stops. 35 cars finished on the lead lap, 36th on down, all 1 lap down, and McDowell out of the race in 42nd due to his crash with his teammate Luke Rainey. And we know the drivers fighting for the championship come Homestead. At the right side of your screen, you see them. Jake Galloway leaves Rockingham with the points lead. He is 3 points up on Colton Yo, who has fallen to 2nd. Then 3rd in points is Mathis Wells in the 5 car. He is currently 6 points behind the 19. And 4th in points is Sebastian Kukulon. He is also within a race. He is 8 points back. Those are the only drivers that will head to Homestead knowing they have a shot at the championship. Paul Taylor was just outside the cutoff. He needed to be 63 points behind. He actually needed to be 64 points behind. He was 62. He was over a race back, so Paul Taylor does not have a shot at the Target Series season number 8 championship. So the top 4 points are the only ones with a shot at the championship. A 4-man race for the championship. Jake Galloway with a 3-point gap over Colton Yo. 6 over Matheus Wells, 8 over Sebastian Kukulon. Question is, who of those will be crowned Target Series champion? And some news going into Homestead is that Jake Galloway, no matter what, will win a tiebreaker. And in the case of a tiebreaker, he'll win no matter what. He has locked up the full season championship. So Jake Galloway knows that he would win in a tie if there happened to be one. We'll look ahead to race number 33 of the Target Series season. We go to the Homestead Miami Speedway for the Chevy 300, the finale of season number 8. I will see you guys then.